Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, today I'm going to talk about Verve Therapeutics because some of our subscribers who are invested in Verve have been concerned. And guys, as you know, we are the only channel which talks about genomic companies on a regular basis. And of late, we have been focused more on CRISPR Therapeutics, maybe Illumina a little bit, and that's about it. So it's time for a video on Verve. The share has taken a drop and people are concerned. So this video addresses why the share has dropped and what are the prospects ahead for Verve Therapeutics. With that, my friend, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Last week, investors took a cautious stance on Verve Therapeutics, leading to a significant drop in the stock price. The primary reason for that reaction was that Verve's decision to voluntarily pause an early-stage clinical trial on its lead program, Verve 101, in April. That's when the sentiment started changing on Verve Therapeutics, in my personal opinion. As you can see here in the price chart for Verve Therapeutics, each of the candles here is a one-day candle, and you can see a steep drop on the 1st of April, and actually it opened very low on the 2nd of April. There's a huge gap down out here, and if I was to measure the drop, I would say that the drop in one day was around 37.64%. So it definitely hurt a lot of people. Right now, also, the chart doesn't seem that great for Verve Therapeutics. It's managing to consolidate in an attempt to go up. But let us talk a little bit more about the reason for the decline and why I think there is hope for Verve Therapeutics going forward. So as I said, that the decision from Verve Therapeutics to voluntarily pause an early stage clinical trial of Verve 101 caused this drop. The reason Verve did that was because one patient in the trial exhibited elevated levels of a liver enzyme and a low platelet count, prompting a review by the trial's independent data and safety monitoring board. The details are that the pause in the phase 1b Heart-1 trial followed a report of grade 3 drug-induced transient elevation of serum alanine or ALT. It's a huge name. I won't want to pronounce it. It's called serum ALT. And grade 3 drug-induced thrombocytopenia in one of the 13 patients dosed so far. The patient was part of the 0.45 mg per kilogram dose cohort, the second highest dose studied. Notably, these health abnormalities were fully resolved within a few days, and other participants have shown significant reductions in low-density lipoprotein cholesterol or LDLC. And while the market reacted negatively, analysts have been more forgiving. So the investors have reacted much strongly as compared to analysts. So, for example, William Blair analyst Miles R. Midner raised two crucial questions. Is the safety concern due to the LNP delivery system limiting its read through to the base editing platform? Whether it is the impact of other clinical programs in the in vivo gene space? Verve's CEO Sekar Kathiresan, MD, emphasized the safety of patients and committed to further investigating the abnormalities to determine the next steps for Verve 101. So until that investigation goes on and they come back and make a clear declaration of why that the patient suffered, I think we are going to have a bit of an overhang on Verve Therapeutics, because each of the therapy that a company invests in has got a lot of time, money, and efforts invested, and it also has got a lot of positive connotations for investors. When you take it away, suddenly you're pulling the foundations of one of the pillars, and it's going to make the stock look pretty weak, and that's exactly what happened. And Verve then said that instead of waiting for the results of investigation into Verve 101, we'll shift our focus to 102 in response to the trial pause. And Verve has shifted its focus to Verve 102, as they mentioned, and which is another treatment candidate targeting PCSK9. And for the trial for Verve 102 is set to start in the second quarter of this year and has received regulatory clearances from UK, Canada. And Verve 102 uses the same base editor and guide RNA, but a very different LNP delivery system than Verve 101. And it incorporates well-tolerated elements from the third-party clinical trials. Now, if you look at the market reaction, despite the analysts' optimism and a reiterated outperform rating from William Blair, Verve stock experienced a sharp decline, dropping 35%, as I showed you in the price chart before from 12.79 to 8.32. However, bargain hunters quickly reacted, causing a mini surge that saw the stock climb back to 8.71 before closing slightly lower at 8.86. So those were the movements that we saw. Even now, you can see that Verve is consolidating. The last 2 days have been green for Verve. But looking ahead, I would say that Verve 201 is probably the next catalyst that we can look for. The company is gearing up for potential positive catalysts in the near future. And one significant development is Verve 201 as an in vivo base editing medicine designed to inactivate the ANGPTL3 gene in liver cells. And this treatment aims to provide a durable reduction in LDL-C and triglyceride-rich lipoproteins, particularly benefiting patients with homozygous familial hypercholesterolemia or HoFH. And when you look at ASCVD, the other indication that this therapy targets, I think it's looking at a very lucrative field where, if successful, this company can become really, really very valuable. Verve has completed preclinical studies for Verve 201 and expect to initiate phase 1b clinical trial in second half of 2024, pending regulatory approvals. Additionally, as interest rates commence, I think that the broader market outlook may improve, providing a more favorable environment for Verve Therapeutic stock, as well as other genomic stocks which are searching for a cure for some rare disease and do not have any monetized therapy in their catalog at this point of time. So in conclusion, I'll say that while Verve Therapeutics has faced setbacks with Verve 101, the company's strategic pivot to Verve 102 and the promising potential of Verve 201 provide a hope for recovery and growth. And as these developments unfold with anticipated economic improvements, investors can look forward to a brighter future with Verve Therapeutics. The way I look forward, if I project forward, I'm thinking that the investigation into Verve 101 has been ongoing. So let us say somewhere around September, we get our first rate cut. That is going to be a positive for the whole economy and for the stock market. The second thing is that we are going to have the commencement of phase 1b of Verve 201, and that's also going to be another catalyst. And around that time, if we get positive catalyst from Verve Therapeutics saying that they have identified exactly what went wrong with Verve 101 and how they plan to fix it and proceed with the clinical trial, I think all of those things can certainly make the share jump. But again, these are all speculation. When I look at the price chart, it doesn't look great at this point of time, but in investment, it's always a long-term gain. Again, philosophically, if you look at investment, the first question you have to ask yourself is, why am I in the market? Are you in the market for the thrills of short-term gains where you buy dark horse and see it turn around and make a lot of money? Is that what thrills you? Is that why you're in the market? Well, so that's one reason why you could go for a riskier bet. And if you're in the market for a retirement like I am, you want to look at long-term, stable, viable companies, and the entry price is always very critical because you have control when you enter the market, but when you are selling the stock, you don't have control over the price. It's the market that decides the price at that time, and you don't have time because you've decided to sell and you're in a narrow window. But you have a longer window of time in which you can do your buying, and you have a lot of choices from which you can buy. So always make sure that whatever you buy for the long term, you enter it at a good price and then hold it for a long period of time. It will definitely give returns, provided it's a reliable company with a good management and a good product. Otherwise, it's going to be, it doesn't guarantee that holding for a long period of time is going to give you profits. With that said, if you just zoom back and look at our stock market, you will see that in the stock market, the share prices may dip momentarily, but in the long run, you always see that the share market is going up. That's also because inflation is taking place, value of the dollar is going down. So anything denominated in dollar will need more dollars to buy. That's also another effect. So once you take out the effect of the inflation or the depreciation of the dollar, any other gain above that if you have is the actual real gain that you get. And for those kind of things, I would say that you should go for true trusted companies like utility companies, defensive stocks, they will give you very good return in the long term, though you may not see capital. But with companies like Verve, which are riskier, you may not get an ongoing dividend, but you may get a sudden spurt of capital gains. It depends on what flavor of excitement you're looking for in the market. That determines how you'll behave. But the worst thing you could do is be a confused investor who invests for long term and short term and everything and anything in between without any discrimination, without any strategy or vision. So I would request you that you are a genomics investor, ask yourself this question. Is it important that all your profits should come from genomics? Is it wrong if you got some profits from AI, some from automobile industry, some from software industry? Does it harm you? So think about that and put it in the comments what your thoughts are. Because blindly putting your money into a genomic stock which keeps on going down is I don't think it's a healthy approach and it's not logical. So think about it. I'll talk about dollar cost averaging separately in a separate video where I'll talk about when to do dollar cost averaging. But I want to hear your thoughts. Why are you in genomics? Are you a long-term investor? And if so, are you even concerned about your entry price for any of these stocks? How long are you prepared to hold? So with that, I'd like to end this video. My pleasure with you.